I've been here over a decade. It never gets old when you find a crew of little dudes. In this episode, Katie does her hair. What you doing back there? It's getting all ready. A robot moves a door. And I play the only song I know. Brum, brum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum. That's all I know. Welcome to Hamamatsu. Hamamatsu station is behind us, and we're going to be filming here for a few days. And just for some context, this is the day after the day where we raced down to that lighthouse. So I don't know if we slept in at all, but we did sleep hard last night.
We slept hard.
We were both wiped out. And all we've got on the docket right now is a beach, some museums, and some breakfast.
Yeah, I have to say, I kind of want to preface this that I don't really know how to tackle this town. Hamamatsu has so many cool museums, but I think that museum videos are boring. So we're going to figure out how to make them not boring. Okay. That's going to be our task for this city, because I don't want to miss out on going to something cool because I tell myself, no, you have to put variety into a video. No, I want to show the cool things that are here, and they kind of might be the same category, but they have different things inside. So I'm quite hyped. We're going to go to some cool places today, and yeah, I'm hungry.
Everything that I so far know about this place is that it is in Shizuoka. It's one of the bigger cities in Shizuoka. It's got a Shinkansen station because when we take the Shinkansen down to Osaka, that's where I know the name of this town from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think this is, I hope
yeah,
I'm not wrong
there's definitely a
about
Shinkansen station because we can hear it from our, it whistles past our, whistling's the wrong word, it hushes like a shh. It hushes past our window.
And it has kind of a cool geography here, so we're going to be exploring that a bit as well. Just like one of those things where there's like water in an interesting area, so we'll be checking that out. And like I said earlier, a beach, and I think dunes are going to be involved, right?
Yeah, there's going to be some dunes.
Okay, so first off, breakfast.
Hamamatsu is known for gyoza. There are a ton of gyoza shops here. They have special way that they make gyoza, or at least serve it. And you don't really even have to walk too far from the station to get the omiyage that you might want. This is just a room, anybody can come in here, and you can get all of these different gyozas that come from different shops and take them home with you on the Shinkansen. You don't even have to go to the shop. You can just come here, grab it, and go back home, share it with your friends. Just found this, and I think it's pretty cool. So it's saying $5,500 for something. We're in a little gyoza hut. That's a lot of money. But basically what it is it's guiding you to understand which ones of these sets to get so that you can have a variety and have like a comparison party. So each of these is a different company. So you buy all 5 of them, you cook them, and you and your friends can taste the differences and decide which place you like the best. That's really cool. I kind of want to do it.
These gyoza bros got your $5,500 in. You're like, that's a lot of money. I really want to do it.
Here's my wallet.
A pleasant surprise coming to this town is that they apparently have got large areas of free motorbike parking. And this is not something that's usual, especially around Shinkansen stations, but literally the station is like a block that way and the Shinkansen tracks are above me. And Scooty is going to be parked here for a few days, and apparently it's free. There's not really any signs that explain that it's free in this area, but we asked some people that were like taking their motorbikes out yesterday, like, is this actually free? And they're like, yeah, it's free, just park here, no big deal. So I don't know if they're just being motorbike friendly or what the advantage that the city gets out of not charging for parking, because most other cities would charge for this. But I'm loving it because Scooty has a safe place to be, and it's free. We had breakfast.
And it was kind of in a very small restaurant. I took Eric there because I saw there are cats that kind of just wander around the restaurant, and it's a morning set thing, which is like our jam.
It's just like a toast, a salad, maybe some floppy bacon in this case.
Yeah, and an egg.
The egg there was a killer, though. It was like the killer feature next to the cat.
Super fresh. Yeah, true. Cat's name was Kiki, and
she was 12.
12 years old.
Cats live 12 years?
Talked a lot. Super talked a lot. Breakfast was delicious, a good start to the day, and now we've come to Hamamatsu's Matsuri Festival Museum. They have a special festival, and their festival involves kites.
Oh, whoa, okay, cool. This is news to me.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about this. Did you know what kite is in Japanese?
The word?
Yeah. If he pulls this out, I'm going to never study again.
I don't remember. You're going to say it, I'm going to go, oh yeah.
Taco.
Taco, yes.
So we're about to go in and see some tacos.
Which is also octopus.
And is also a food that we love.
We took a cab here, and we got some recommendations for some gyoza places from the taxi driver. He was super
made a
friendly.
doodle for us so that we could find it, told me where it was. I'd already found it on Google Maps.
But he doodled you out a doodle.
Yeah, we got a doodle.
You use Google Maps, he uses Doodle Maps, my dude.
Doodle Maps, yeah. Okay, let's go. We're not going to fly a kite in the thing.
Oh, we don't get to? It's kind of windy.
Yeah, maybe we'll fly a kite. I don't know.
Can I get that doodle?
So we're at the Matsuri Museum, and their Matsuri is all about kites, which is quite unique. We've never heard of a Matsuri that has kites. We just watched a video where they put tons of kites into the sky, and one of the things in particular that they do is they have kite fights with like 20 teams trying to knock each other's kites out of the sky. It said that there was the smell of burning rope during this time, and that people get hyped on that, and I would get hyped on that. The feeling that the video gave me was this. The painting behind me depicts like a kite war. There's definitely other things going on that are a little more friendly during the festival time. But we haven't even gone into the museum yet. We saw a video and this painting, and we really want to come back. It happens during May, and right now it's I know what month it is. July. So we've definitely missed it, but we want to come back and see what this is all about. It seems super fun. So we're going to go into the museum now and actually see some kites. Some of you might know that apartments are measured in tatami, and the size of a tatami is 1 joule. This is 10 joule. This is a kite. It's bigger than some rooms it's bigger than some Tokyo apartments, straight talk. Some people are living in a smaller area than this kite. It's amazing.
It's bigger than your office.
Yes, it's bigger than my office, for real. Absolutely incredible.
This is legitimately one of the coolest things I've seen in Japan, just artistically and the energy and stuff that's like taking place. And there's just something about the boldness of the art style that they're using on
the simplicity and the boldness.
Yeah, it's simple and bold. And a lot of times you'll see like Matsuri stuff and it's like so stylistic you can hardly even read it. But a lot of the stuff is like plain as day, you can read it very easily just because of the style that they decided to use. And it's probably because it's so far up.
Away.
Yeah. So they gave Katie a pamphlet of some sort, and it shows like a list of all of the people who are going to be bringing their kites. So you could like go theoretically and like Where's Waldo it. You could like check them all off.
Well, it's more like bird watching. It shows you all of it. Oh, I can bird watch in here. I gotta go.
The way the museum is displaying the kites is also really cool. You can see these ropes and stuff coming off of them. It just makes it feel kind of intense and almost 3D in a way. Just the display in general makes you feel like you're almost at the Matsuri itself, because they aren't just like hung on the wall lazily. They're like kind of designed in a way that makes them look like they're all floating up in the sky. Another aspect of the Matsuri is these things called Goten Yatai, which are a little less unique looking than the kite situation is. It's like these big floats that they pull around the city, and there'll be like drums and flutes and bells and stuff that they make noise with and stuff. Make noise. I don't know if it counts as music. It's more of a racket, but it's like a good energy. But it's kind of like something you'll see in other types of Matsuris. They get applied in a lot of different ways. Sometimes I think there's like a god inside of them sometimes, depending on the story or the lore in the specific area. But this one is apparently a way to transport the kites back in the day. Now they probably just use like a Nissan or whatever, but back in the day they would have used these because this festival was going on for hundreds of years. And now they just held this over as like part of the tradition. And I get the vibe that this is like at least an all-day festival, if not a multi-day. It's a multi-day festival, sure, for sure. It's like the first weekend,
3,
right?
4, 5, yeah.
Yeah, so like the pictures and stuff you see, it's like some are in the morning, some are in the evening, some are in the night and stuff.
And
so
it seems like different locations, like some are in a wide open field because you need that for kites. Others are
in the
throughout
city.
The streets of the city. So it's immersive, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm legitimately pumped about the prospect of coming back and seeing this in real life. And I'm usually not that excited about festivals. Like, kind of once you've seen one or two festivals, you've seen them all. But I've never seen no sky festivals before. Of course, it wouldn't be a museum in Japan if they didn't have a place to buy goods. Katie got a dope t-shirt, probably show up in videos in the future, but they also had something we've been collecting, little magnets. We've been buying magnets when we go to new places recently, putting them on our fridge. Usually we only get one from each place, but in this case we ended up with 4 different little magnets, and they are little representations of the kites. And we got one that says sand, as in the sand dunes that we're about to go to. We got one that is the flag of the city. We got one that is a wicked looking little dude. And we got one that says nasu, as in eggplant. I'm not sure what the significance of the eggplant is, but I just thought it was funny, so I grabbed that. And the reason that we got 4 instead of 1 is because you can't just have one kite in the sky, you gotta have a whole bunch, and maybe there'll be a little bit of a battle on the fridge. In other news, there's little crabs on the floor in that museum, which is not something you usually see inside of museums, but they are walking around with their scissors. Came out of the museum and there's a dude flying a kite. Like in the field. You can buy little kites inside the museum, but I think this guy's like practicing like for realsies. He's got like more equipment than what looked like it was available in the gift shop.
Did not know that Hamamatsu is a windy place. Probably should have guessed that from the kite situation, but while we were at breakfast, the man that runs the shop told us that the dunes which we're at right now were created from 3 mountains that were affected by wind, thus turning them into sand. I believe him. I'm pretty sure he knows everything about this, because that's seeming quite feasible right now. There's a lot of sand out here, more greenery than I thought there was going to be. I think you can take a kite out any day almost. Today's kind of a low wind day, but that guy got his kite out, and I know we've seen from our bike trip that it gets windier, it gets crazier. Over in the distance, you can actually see some wind power generation going on too. So it seems they're making use of it, not only in making landmarks to come to, festivals to enjoy, but also energy to be consumed.
That was real good.
I know.
So some people might be like, wait a second, sand dunes in Japan? And that's what I said a couple years ago when we went to Totori and we went to sand dunes. And then I was like, okay, so there's only sand dunes in Totori. But apparently there are multiple sand dunes to choose from, because our book
this sand dune is the best of 3 sand dunes. So there's a mystery sand dunes that we don't know about. And I'm not looking it up until it pops into my radar randomly. I don't want to know it until it's there.
So apparently the sand dunes all over the place, man. You don't gotta look far. You just gotta go to the beach. Dunes.
What the fuck are beach dunes?
What? These are beach dunes. What are you talking about?
Oh, something hurt my foot. It's probably a crab.
The scissors. What you thinking? That water gonna be cold? Because the air is pretty cold.
Yeah, but my feet are pretty warm from the sand, so. Also from the sunburn. It's still like sunburn. Like, I think this is normal levels of sunburn now. For the first couple of days where I had the sunburn, when I would get up, I could feel the blood rush into it and it hurt. And today I still felt that. And I think it's because I stopped taking the steroids that the doctor gave me to reduce the swelling. This was serious sunburn. I don't know if this is gonna go into the video. This isn't the medical diaries of Katie.
The ocean is like a cat. You gotta wait for it to come to you.
there, the big wave's gonna come. I don't want to deal with that.
That was
refreshing.
a feature that is famous from this area is apparently sea turtles will come up on the beach and lay eggs. And of course there's like signs like don't screw with the sea turtles. Like I don't know why you need to write a sign to tell people not to screw with the sea turtles, but you do because people be people. But there's also this, which is a cage and a fake sea turtle in the cage. I'm not sure if they know he's not real because you don't really need to cage in an unreal sea turtle. Actually, I don't think you should really cage in the real ones either, but especially not the unreal ones. Does he pose a threat? Do I pose a threat? Who's threatening who? I don't know. I'm out. I don't have anything else to riff on with that. Excited?
Yeah. Airborne.
We're on a bus here to get back to the station because the taxi that we took going out there was a bit more expensive than we needed to be spending. This is way, way cheaper. And they don't take Suica, so we got on and we're like trying to scan our cards and it's not happening with this little sign that's like no Suica, you got to use some nice pass thing or something they have down here. So if you come down here to the Inaka, bring cash. We have come to a little neighborhood that is right by the big train station, and this is where the taxi driver's favorite gyoza joint is. So we are going to get some gyoza, and as you can see, it's the favorite of some other folks too, because there's quite a line. He told us to expect that, and we've got a little bit of time, so I think it'll be all right. But it seems like it might go kind of quick because the lady that works here came out and took people's orders like from the line so that like they can keep the ball rolling. Like once you get in there, you can eat and get the hell out. So that's hopefully good because we do have an appointment for the afternoon and we would like to not miss it. But sometimes you gotta do that thing for gyoza. All right, the goods have come out. We ended up getting a plate of gyoza to share, so we've got 8 gyoza total, and it comes with something called ude moyashi, which is just moyashi. Marinated, and I guess it's like kind of a specialty from here.
Give me some chopsticks.
And we also got, the box is hard to open. We also got some yakiniku just for a little bit of variety.
And it looked really good on the menu.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's like it's a miso paste, like smothering that they've got on it. So I don't know. Anytime I see the word miso, I have a hard time turning it down. But
rice is good.
They also gave us some rice, and it was pretty cheap, especially the gyoza. The yakiniku was a little expensive, but the main contender is the gyoza, and they just came out, so they might be 1 billion degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yours is falling apart.
Yeah, mine is falling apart.
It's not marinated. There's like no. It's been warmed. It's not as crunchy as it would be if you took it out of the bag. Talking about the moyashi.
Yeah, the texture is a little different.
But
the vibe in here is cool. It's kind of fast-paced and stuff because obviously they have a big line outside, and the people are still friendly though. Like that's kind of sometimes that goes out the window when something becomes fast-paced, but the lady is like nice, and it's pretty clean in here too. Like I'm kind of surprised at like how nice it is inside of here. Sometimes these places can be a little bit grungy. Is it too hot to eat, or is it okay to jump into one?
Mine was fine.
Okay. How was it?
Have we even mentioned that this is the taxi driver's recommendation?
Oh yeah, I mentioned it outside.
Okay, good. So, I like his taste buds. His taste buds match my taste buds. It's highly salty. There's cabbage on the inside. Can't really tell if there's any meat, honestly.
It's very distinct. It's very different than what you get out of like your standard normal gyoza. But you're right. Is there any meat, or is it all vegetable?
It might be all vegetable.
But it's really flavorful.
Well, you know what I noticed? When I was doing my ramen adventures, I would go to ramen places, get the gyoza, and it would be standard. But we went to some vegetarian ramen places, and their gyoza was outstanding. So this is just the same. I can't find any meat in there at all.
Maybe the meat is screwing up gyoza, like in the general sense, and you got to go with the vegetable stuff. The yakiniku, the miso is really, really deep, like in a good way.
Good.
But I don't want this going on too long because, again, there's a line outside, and I don't want to be the people that are sitting there making it look like we're not moving for the line.
Yeah.
This is kind of fun. When you go into establishments, you get to look for their kite. And we found this gyoza restaurant's kite. Quick one, after each review.
Lovely.
Yeah,
absolutely
very good.
Lovely.
Sometimes we like leave these and we're like, it wasn't as good as we said in the video.
Yeah.
It's good.
Always doing after eats, and whether or not you include it, then that's one of the keys. But my favorite thing was how thin the skin was. It was crispy, and then it was all veggie on the inside, and lovely. Really, really good.
I'd come back here.
We gotta talk to taxi guys more often. So I talked about Hamamatsu being very museum oriented. I don't know if we're gonna get to hit this museum, but there's stuff on the street that already represents it. Yamaha, you might actually be thinking motorcycles or something like that, but they also do musical instruments, is possibly like born and raised here. I don't know that exactly, but they have a museum here where you can go and see the history of musical instruments. We really want to go. Don't know if we're going to get a chance to, but they're already representing that this is like a musical industry area with their benches that look like a little piano. It's really cute. I did a gachapon. It's about turtles. I have a friend that really likes turtles. It's so much smaller than I thought. The one I'd gotten before was like really big. So each one was a different mountain. This one seems more like your vegetative mountain. There was a volcano one, and then one that kind of looked like an ocean mountain, but I don't know how you ocean mountain.
Is it Mount Fuji?
Could be Mount Fuji, but it's like blue and stuff, so. They tricked me. I thought this turtle was gonna look different.
We're on the choo-choo. Pretty fun. Eyes closed. Crossing the street. Alright, I've seen a thing Katie hasn't seen. So she's got her eyes closed. Gonna lead her to the place. It's a little bit far.
Could you maybe tell me about the land?
The land? It's okay, dude. Just keep walking. You got nothing. Just walk like a normal person. Just walk like a normal bro. Come on.
Well, now I can walk like a normal bro because we got over the gutter.
How do you know there's not another gutter? You can't see. You're gonna go through a bunch of green. It's fine though. It's not gonna hurt you.
Ugh. Fucking hate nature.
Open your eyes. Turn around.
It's got a lot of holes. Is it an octopus? Yes. Bye. There's no stairs.
Octopus don't come with stairs, baby. Did you find stairs?
Kind of. I'd call it a kind of. Alright, that's gonna be a slow burn. Over here. Yep, that was nice.
It's the second taco of the day, babe.
But this one's looking pretty fun. Oh man, if I can find tacos for dinner.
With taco rice, dude.
Oh yeah.
How is it some of them are so just
I got
bad?
a wedgie. I gotta get off. Wow. Oh, it's really in there. Okay. And that sucked. Gotta like come up with some like decoder thing. Like I gotta be over here, give it like a pat, rub it down, think about like waxing it.
A wedge rating.
This is terrible. I give it an F. Octopus, B-. The texture's just not right, but it's really cool looking, so. Didn't give me a wedgie though.
I like this after wedgie review. one of the museums is apparently a Suzuki museum, which is usually would not be exciting to us.
Dude, it wasn't exciting. And then I told you, oh yeah, there's a Suzuki dealership, and you were, or not dealership, but a museum, and you were like, oh, I just bought one. And I was like, you just bought
Scooty
one?
Puff Jr. is a Suzuki.
Didn't know that until last week. I just know it's a Bergman.
So we are at the museum and I think factory, and hopefully we're going to be able to see one of these things being built, but honestly I don't know if they're built in Japan or not. So regardless, we're going to see some Suzukis.
And I'm hoping at the very least to see a Bergman here.
Yeah.
That would be cool. So far we're in a showroom and there are no Bergmans, but it's like race bikes and stuff, and yours is not a race bike.
It was racing yesterday.
Racing
it lost.
the storm? Yeah, it did. You lost.
We haven't found an actual Bergman, but we found some documentation that proves it exists. I mean, I drive one, so I know it exists, but here's some official documentation from the man. There's been a little bit of confusion about what's going on here, but we're at a point where we're just kind of like wandering around by ourselves inside of a big display of the history of all their cars and everything. And as this always seems to happen from car manufacturers, they used to make like looms, and they've moved their way into making cars through the war transition and everything that Japan went through. But I seem to remember that was the same thing that Honda explained, but I guess it's just like Toyota, yeah. Like you have a manufacturing process and then it's applicable to other things. Even though looms and cars don't seem like the same, I guess like at the core of it, at the beginning of the automotive like revolution, it kind of made sense. You know what I mean? Who else is going to do the thing? So get the loom guy to make cars. So it's like one of those things. But we just been walking around looking at the history of all their cars and old motorcycles that look like bicycles that they just like slapped combustion engines on, and newer vehicles and small cars, and learning about how Suzuki focused on making smaller vehicles in general. Then we saw a video explaining how factory works and things like that.
It was in like a 3D theater where you were wearing the 3D glasses. It's actually 4D because they had the water come down and the floor shook when things happened, and it was way more involved than I thought we were going to get in a movie. But the tour has been way less involved in the fact that we are not on a tour. I thought we would be on a tour, and that we would
it's more
be going to some sort of assembly line.
It's self-guided, and everybody else in here is on a tour. We're confused a little bit.
Yeah, and we made an appointment, but we don't really know what we made an appointment for. Possibly just to get into the building.
Yeah, it's weird, but it says Kengaku on the appointment thing, so I don't know. Anyways,
yeah.
The good news is we finally found our first Suzuki Bergman thing, and this is the very first Suzuki Bergman model, and it is what they called a Skywave in Japan, and it came out in 1998. So this is like Scooty's grandpapa. We found our second Scooty Bergman representation. It is a 650cc version, and it's made of clay. It's explaining how the modeling is done. This is actually pretty cool. It's a fuel cell version of the scooter that we have, and it's not something they ever put into production, but I have read that they were testing them in Tokyo area at one point. So every once in a while you just see a fuel cell Bergman like skirting around. I don't think they're doing it anymore. I think it got canceled or whatever, but it's kind of cool to see one broken open, and you can see how a fuel cell system works in a device this small, as opposed to like a spaceship or whatever.
I was struggling a little bit to try and find what we were going to do for Fika. Just wandering around cafes looking for something, you end up finding a lot of generic things. But randomly on the internet, I started seeing this cookie show up a lot. And I was like, what's up with this cookie? I gotta chase this cookie down. It is the age shio. But this is not the shio for salt. It's a different type of shio. I think it means tide.
Okay.
Possibly.
I don't know that kanji, so sure,
and
maybe.
It's a cookie. Main attributes of this cookie are maybe not salty, but there are raisins and cornflakes inside. And the company that makes this actually originates from Hamamatsu. So I was like, all right, checking lots of different boxes. The company also makes some cheesecake, but we didn't go to the actual pastry shop. We just bought this at the convenience store. You can get it at probably any convenience store in this city.
Cornflake cookies?
Cornflake cookies.
Okay, to just Hamamatsu.
To Scooty.
To Scooty? Scooty Puff Jr.? All right, dude. All right, every day, man. All right, you got a crunch, a raisin. It's actually really quite good. Sometimes these little like, oh, this little cookie comes from the town thing really aren't that great. But this is a fun texture.
This is omiyage quality.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Fun texture, fun ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, and cornflakes. I dig it.
Yesterday we survived an immense downpour.
It's legitimately insanely breezy.
And today it's also supposed to rain in the evening. We are going to hide from the possibility of another downpour. We've come to the cinema. We're gonna go and see the newest Indiana Jones movie and the lastest. Possibly.
The last one with Harrison Ford,
He's
I
gonna
think.
live forever. There'll be another.
He seems like he's already lived forever.
Yeah. So we're gonna go and watch a movie instead of standing outside in the rain trying to figure out what to do with the rest of our evening. And I'm pretty hyped. The moment you showed me the trailer, I was like, I'm in.
Katie's smuggling a sandwich, guys.
I'm also smuggling your onigiri, sir.
Shh, don't say it out loud. Now it's illegal. I'm gonna buy some popcorn now. I'm guilted into it.
Aw, that's good.
We're back at the hotel now, and we're still munching these little cookies. I don't think we pointed this out earlier, but we think they have like orange skin kind of in them a little bit. They're delightful. And we thought this would be a good opportunity to just show you where we're staying while we're here. And the room is especially destroyed by us at the moment for a couple of reasons. One, I'll let Katie explain, but the other is because when I was coming home or coming here, right before getting here, I got stuck in this huge rainstorm. It's legitimately insanely breezy. And the motorcycle bags had their protection on them from the rain, but it was just such an insane amount of wind and rain that a bunch of water got into stuff, so a bunch of stuff got wet. So we've just got like this like explosion of things out drying because it was all electronics stuff. Of course, I have learned I will pack things differently in the future, but it's just caused a lot of chaos in the room. And then some other chaos was given to us just by the way that the room was set up, and I think I'll let Katie explain.
Man, I don't even know where to start with that. I really don't, because the room's already in disarray. So what I'm going to say, and I know because Eric already told me that he's going to force me to clean up my mess. The room did not look like this at all. This bed was over there. Over there.
Like 45 degrees, right? Like, is that
yes,
the right
yes.
number?
I don't know. You said numbers. It was right there. This bed is fucking tiny. This is a 1.5 person bed, not a 2-person bed. I don't want to sleep like a pencil. I gotta have my leg like at my shoulder. Like my knees gotta be way up there. That tells my body it's sleep time. Not that it works very often, but it feels good. So this bed, we sat there staring at it. Like, it's so small. This contraption over here, I'm just gonna, there's so much stuff on top of it. It folds up. So this goes back over there. This slides into, or under, the couch. It's like a small couch. I feel like there's more people room on this couch than there is on this bed. And then that nugget in the corner, the nugget in the corner is like a back pillow. So this was here. And I'm going to have to rearrange all this. Eric will take a picture or make a video and you'll get to see what it looked like. While Eric was in the shower, I went to town on this. I moved everything all around and I've been sleeping there, he's been sleeping there, and we have sufficient amount of room to lay and relax. Like, I slept really good last night, and if I hadn't done this, I would be really miserable today. I wouldn't have slept at all last night, and you wouldn't have slept at all last night because I wouldn't have slept at all last night. It's a weird room, and it's weirder because of this.
I'd also like to point out it's dark outside.
Time to sleep?
No good after dark time, baby.
Yeah.
I went to make one of those things for Tanabata. See, it's a Tanabata thing. They give you crayons to write on it, and they're like this thick. So I ended up getting like, oh, I'm just gonna crumple this up and put it in my pocket and throw it away. Are you ready?
Man, I don't really like the way it's looking at me, man.
That was amazing.
All right. So these are the ones that have doors in them. 1 through 5 on either side. So there are 3 doors, and these are the empties. So from the full, you select, it goes to an empty.
So I could press, like, I want 4 to go to 2.
No, it needs to be an
Oh,
empty.
2. Oh, I see. 2, 1.
Yeah.
And now it's going to make number 4. But you already moved number 4. Oh, okay. They're backwards. I see. This side is over here.
No.
Oh, jeez, it's confusing. I get it now, though.
No. So this side represents all possible places for the door, and it's not that the door is numbered; it's that the place is numbered.
Yeah, it's like door take, door put.
So there's always going to be 2 empties and 3 fulls.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Robots are confusing. All right, the goods have come out. We ended up getting a plate of gyoza to share, so we got 8 gyoza. Great crunch.
Did you just say great cunt? What did you say?
Great crunch.
All right, well, I got news for you. I didn't record that.
Great. By the time you see this video, Pikmin 4 should be out. And if it's not out, at least the demo's out. And you should go play the demo. It's on the Switch. It's good stuff. Pikmin is my jam. Kyde's jam as well. We went into a convenience store this evening and we found a Pikmin snack, which is very exciting to us. And it says it's a Hidamari no Mi. I was like, what the hell is a Hidamari no Mi? And apparently it's a Pikmin word that just means strawberry. And it is a steamed bun, and inside of it is some whip. I can tell you, it smells quite strongly of strawberry. And I'm expecting it to taste quite strongly of strawberry. It's very soft. And the strawberry flavor is kind of like an artificial strawberry. You know what I mean? Like how like artificial strawberry doesn't taste like strawberries, and like artificial bananas doesn't taste like bananas. It's like that thing, sort of in that area. The cream is very light. It's not like gushing. Most of the experience is just in the bread, and I would say that the Hidamari no Mi is worth one try. Pretty. I'll take it. It's got nothing to do with that lady with the cool looking umbrella.